President Ramaphosa halala. Siyakwemukela mongameli, siyakwemukela. Siyakwemukela mongameli, siyakwemukela. Okay. Can we give way to the police band, please? Okay. Alala Eastern Cape, alala. Alala Eastern Cape, alala. Siyakwemukela mongameli, siyakwemukela. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, comrades, we are going to start the program today, now. So we request all of us to stand up for both the national anthem and the AU anthem. Can we please, that side, can we lower our voices as the South African Police Service Brass Band is going to lead us kumhobe wesizwe.
Die blauw van onze hemel, echt die diepte van ons je, waar ons je weggebergd is, waar de grondse antwoord geeft, so the call to come together and united we shall stand. Let us live and strive for us all unite and celebrate together the victories won for our liberation. Let us dedicate ourselves to rise together to defend our liberty and unity. Oh, sons and daughters of Africa, flesh of the sun and flesh of the sky, let us make Africa the tree of life. Let us all unite and sing together to uphold the bonds that frame our destiny. Let us dedicate ourselves to fight together for lasting peace and justice on earth. Oh, sons and daughters of Africa, flesh of the sky and flesh of the sun, let us make Africa the tree of life. Let us all unite and toil together to give the best we have to Africa, the cradle of mankind and fount of culture, our pride and hope at break of dawn. Oh, sons and daughters of Africa, flesh of the sun and flesh of the sky, let us make Africa the tree of life.
You may be seated in the meantime. Siyabulela SAPS acting premier. Ungathi abantu bakulelali banomona. Abakhwabi nje nokukhwaba bekhwabele SAPS. Abantu abatheni aba? Thank you very much to the South African Police Service Band for rendering the national anthem and the AU anthem. Let me start by acknowledging my co-program director, MEC Fezeka Nkomonye, here with us, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of South Africa, President MC Ramaphosa. Wamgelekile Mongameli. Ministers and deputy ministers here present, specifically the minister in the presidency, Maite Nkwana Mashabane, whose program it is today, minister in the presidency, Minister Gungubele, and all other ministers with us today, the acting premier of the province, acting premier Mvoko, members of the diplomatic corps. Yes, members of the diplomatic corps, members of the executive council here present, members of parliament, executive mayor of OR Tambo District Municipality, Councillor Ngondwana, traditional leaders, members, the executive chairperson of the NYDA, Miss Asanda Luaka, members, yes, it's Youth Day, it is. Members of business community, government officials, distinguished guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Molweni. Siyanibulisa nonke molweni. Hey, awukho umusa kwelikhaya. Molweni bantu bakowethu. Ninjani? Ukuphila kwenu. Ndiyayizwa lento yokuphila kwenu. Ukuthi niyaphila khona. Oh, sound system. Andvakali. Ndiyaniva mina. Can we be assisted on the sound system? Yabona ke mesithi abantu abeze bezo sebenzela uhulumende sifuna icapacity. Minister Gungubele. Sifuna icapacity bekhona. Sivakale xa sithethe. So sizawunyamezela. Sizawuqhuba nje. Sibone uba akuvakali. Iyakhatha. Inoba kune ngxaki ye network. Can we be assisted? Service provider, please. Sakela sound. Sound, please. Iyakhatha. Oh, Mthatha. Sipeni mic enye. Tale. Stella mic enye. One, two. Injani ke manje? Injani ngoku? Ingono. Iyafana. Oh, madam. Molweni apho niyasiva? Thank you very much. I send greetings to all young people here in the Eastern Cape and all over South Africa. Yeah? Upper bit good. Yeah. Eh? Khona ngapha. Oh. One, two, 1, 2. Molweni. Iyavakala. Siyavakala ngoku. Enkosi kakhulu. Once more, nibulisa, and we send greeting to all young people here in the Eastern Cape. Hey, izamazama lendota. It's not about, it's the sound. One, two. I think we are ready now. I hope it's going to go without any hindrance. Well, let me send greetings to all of young people here in the Eastern Cape and all over South Africa. Welcome to the commemoration of the Youth Day. The Youth Month this year is celebrated under the theme Promoting Sustainable Livelihoods and Resilience of Young People for a Better Tomorrow. Before we can move any further, we need to pay homage to the late King of Amampondo, King Zanozugo Sikau, and the broader royal household and the nation of Amampondo. Bantwana bakafaku, Ngungushe, Kanyauza, Kathahla, Kandayeni, Kachithwayo, Kabhala, Kagangatha, Kachiya, Kacabe, Kancedise, Kamsiza, Katobe, Kaziqelekazi, Kahlamba ngobende, Kasantsabe, Kamthwa, Kasithula, Kampondo, Kanjaya, Kasibiside, singumZantsi Afrika, sithi thuthuzelekani. 2022 marks the 46th anniversary of June 16, 1976 student uprising. The day has since been given a national commemorative days known as the Youth Day. So today we are meeting under the Youth Day. It is a day on which we take stock of government services to our young people, whilst at the same time we appreciate the resilience of young people who have shown us the work they do. I'm honored today to have been assigned this task of introducing. Sorry? Aizwakali? 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 Straight?
I must sort it out. Yakulimaza. Can't hear you decide to go to tea.
Next.
Let him unfold.
Serious? Yo.
Yeah.
Hayi fundini. Ansazi ke ngoku. Leni iyasebenza.
Testing, 1, 2. Molweni Mthatha. Molweni Mthatha.
1 2 1 2. Molweni. Kuyevakala. Niyandiva ngapho. Akuvakali. Anindiva. Madoda.
In time, can we request that the DJ plays us a song while we try to fix the technicalities? Just one song, DJ. We will be back shortly and fix the technicalities. DJ Stalingoma. Sicela ukholo nothando. 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 Rofiwa, can you please test that side? This one seems to be working now. Sicela ukholo nothando. Testing, testing.
Iyasebenza le.
Sicela ukholo nothando.
Nothando.
Sicela ukholo nothando. Sicela ukholo nothando. Sicela ukholo nothando.
Sicela ukholo nothando.
One, two, 1 2 1 2. Siyabulela. 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 Sithemba uba uxolo nothando kuzoba nathi. Siyavakala ngoku. Minister Kungubel says, asizwakali, you never heard anything since we started, especially from this side. We were saying that the Youth Month this year is celebrated under the theme, promoting sustainable livelihoods and resilience of young people for a better tomorrow. That's the theme for this year. But before we can move any further, we need to pay homage to the late King of Amampondo, King Zanozugo Skau, and the broader royal household and Amampondo as a whole. Sitike bantwana bakafaku ngongqoshe kaNyawuza kaThahla kaNdayeni kachithwayo kaBhala kaGangatha kaCiya kaCabe kaNcidise kaMsiza kaTobe kaZiqelekazi kaHlamba ngobende kaSansabe kaMthwa kaSithula kaMpondo kaNjanya kaSibiside singumZansi Afrika sithi thuthuzelekani. 2022 marks 46th anniversary of June 16, 1976 student uprising. This is the day where young people took to the street and demonstrate that indeed they are the cutting edge of the revolution. This is the day where young people interrupted the process of colonialism of a special type in this country and ensured that they stamped the authority of the majority of the people. The youth struggles of today center around the fight against the three resilient fault lines of poverty, inequality, and unemployment, which in the main affects young people of our country. What is our program as the government to address these challenges? Different portfolios and ministries would be able to demonstrate what is it that government does. We don't have time for that, but I can say that as we are here, the President started in one of the programs led by the Department of Higher Education, Science and Innovation under the leadership of Minister Nzimande on the legacy of Science and Technology Hub. But today, we are about youth. And youth in this country, under the National Youth Development Agency, had, amongst others, following programs, the Second Chance program, which affords young people who have failed grade 12 a second chance to register. The Solomon Mahlangu Scholarship Fund, the NYDA Grant Program, Entrepreneurship Development Program by the NYDA, which is aimed at creating a conducive environment for young entrepreneurs to access relevant entrepreneurship skills, knowledge, values, and attitudes. The Volunteer Business Mentorship Program, Business Consultancy Program. I want to say, as we conclude this introduction of this day, that we are pleased that the President has asked government, particularly the Ministry of Women, Youth, and People with Disability, under the leadership of Minister Nkwana Mashaban, for the Nelson Mandela Youth Dialogue and Ethical Leadership Program, which will commence in July 2022. This program involves the youth of the entire continent, and in the main, it deals with issues of values, of leadership, of the uprightness of our youth. So this is why we are here today. We are here because of youth. We are here because of their sacrifice. We are here to ensure that their sacrifice is not going in vain. My co-program director is going to be helping us to steer this program, which we think is not going to be a long program, and we apologize for the glitches as we started. But I can see now that the sound is back, and so is my co-program director here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Molweni Mthatha. Ay, yabona ke sizovana mna nawe. Molo baby. Phakamisa iflag ubuse Mthatha, phakamisa iflag. Hlaba ikhwelo, hlaba ikhwelo. Nazoke. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for the opening and the purpose. Igama lami selekuchiwo kwathiwa ndingufezeka wakwaNkomonye. Andihambi ndedwa ke njengoba besekuchaziwe ndihamba no-Honorable Minister Mthethwa kwakunye ne-sign language interpreters uMiss Fumane Tlhadi kwakunye no Miss Cebisa Machila. We are going to drive this program together. If you've just joined us in the social media, we are coming live and the hashtag is hashtag June 16, 2022. Yabona ke ngoku beningekafiki, Honorable President, selenibulisiwe ngeprotocol yenu, andizoba sayigqiba mina umsebenzi wami wenziwe lula. Ngoku beningekafiki, the program director said kwela cala was the program of the youth. This side kuzawuqhuba program ye-youth endala. And I got very jealous because yes, the youth endala kodwa not so old. And I am hoping not as old as Abo Minister Kungubele kanje. Diyo yona youth endala. And I am hoping the vibe speech is going to rub on us. Thank you very much, guys, for holding the fort in the first phase. In our midst, we have the acting premier. I am a bit jealous today that I didn't get the acting. We have the acting premier in our midst, Undebe Ukopoi uMS Mvoko, who is going to do the honors yokuba asamkele ephondweni. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for my favorite MEC. Ndiyazicengela ke xa ndisithi fave. Uyayazi uba ndifuna ntoni, ikhona imali endiyifunayo phaa kuye njengongxowa wephondo. Khona millions nje ezimbalwa. 10 nyana. Xa segqiba nje ukuthetha no-President, he's going to join us on stage and do the welcoming remarks. Over to you, Honorable Acting Premier.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Greeting Mamungo Monye, or Program Directors, Mamungo Monye, Noba Mthetho. Greetings to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of South Africa,
Honorable President Cyril Ramaphosa, ndibulise kwinkokheli zakwantu ezikhoyo apha, and unkosi uGwadiso usihlalo we-House of Traditional Leaders mbona lukhona apha agwebe inqele, religious leaders, ministers and deputy ministers, members of the provincial executive ezikhoyo apha, ndibona umama uMatthew nomama uKhontsiwe, ubona ke ngoku awufiti ke ngwandikubiziwe ndikubize apha ekuqaleni, members of parliament and members of provincial legislatures here, executive mayors, ngokukhokelwa ngu-executive mayors o-R Tambo, kwangusihlalo weSalga, so bakhokelwa nguweFaku, mayors of local municipalities, leaders of the different political parties, leaders of youth formations, young people of this country, fellow citizens, good afternoon. Mongameli, olusuku lwakho lusuku lwakho lokuba uthethe nabantu baseMzantsi Afrika ngesikhumbuzo sosuku lweJune 16. Ikwalithuba lakho lokuba udakance inkqubo ezenziwa ngurhulumente okhokelwa yi-ANC, indlela zokuphuhlisa abantu abatsha. Siliphondo sifuna ukubulela iwonga silinikwe ngurhulumente kwakaZwelonke lokuba sisingathe lo msitho qha apha eMthatha kwi-OR Tambo district. Kodwa ke phambi kokuba ndithethe Mongameli, it is proper that we send our deepest condolences to the families of the 6 learners from Ndamase Senior Secondary School in Nqeleni who perished during a car crash while they were on their way from school. We also wish to wish the 18 people, including 16 learners in the same accident who sustained injuries during that crash. We wish them a speedy recovery. And I think at that note, without program directors, without spoiling your program, we should observe a moment of silence for the 6 learners who passed away. Can we do that? Thank you very much. You may be seated. Mr. President, Youth Day is a day that evokes a lot of emotions to us because it reminds us of the brutality that was meted out to the young people of our country by the apartheid security forces 46 years ago. On that fateful day of 16 June 1976, the blood of young people was spilled. Today, we remember and salute those who paid the ultimate price in pursuit of the vision of a South Africa that is free, a South Africa that is democratic, non-racial, non-sexist, and prosperous. The youth of today is faced with social and economic challenges of immense proportions. Here in our province, youth unemployment is rife. Many of our young people migrate to other provinces in search of opportunities. This is a generational trend that dates back to apartheid era of making our province a labor reserve. So when we say, Comrade President, Umzimvubu Dam must be built, the N2 Wild Coast must be improved, the Wild Coast SEZ must be established, and industrial parks must be revived. We're talking about the creation of the transformational legacy of the ANC-led government. We know that these mega projects would yield jobs and sustainable economic opportunities for our people. Hence, it's important that all spheres of government must inject agility in the implementation of this project. Nada songa zandla bepondweni. Maninzi amaphulo esiwenzayo ukuzama ukuphuhlisa abantu abatsha. Ekuqaleni kwale 6 administration saseka ingxowa-mali ekhethekileyo yabantu abatsha sayibiza ngoba sisiqalo Youth Fund. We're encouraged by the growth of the youth-owned businesses we have supported this. We are committed to increase the financial muscle of the East Kalo Youth Fund to expand the reach of the financial support to the young entrepreneurs of our province. Mr. President, building the skills capacity of our youth is another area we are focused on. Working with various sectors, we are introducing critical skills development interventions for the unemployed youth of our province. Our target for this term is to capacitate 43,000 young people with skills so that they can be employable or be creators of employment. We also want to appreciate your intervention on the youth unemployment challenge in our country by establishing the Presidential Youth Employment Initiative. We are currently implementing phase 3 of the Presidential Youth Employment Initiative through Department of Basic Education. Mr. President, our future economic performance and investment prospects will in part depend on the health of our most important asset, our youth. Illnesses such as TB, HIV, AIDS, and other social ills such as substance abuse, high prevalence of crime, and gender-based violence against women threaten to our future or the future of our youth. Here in our Tambo district, we recently lost a young woman, Mthatha, who was shot and killed outside her home. We lost a young teacher in Lusikisiki who was going home from a matric camp. These incidents indicate that we must strengthen our crime-fighting initiatives, particularly the proliferation of guns in our society. These are challenges we must respond to decisively, working with young leaders of our nation. The voice of young people must be heard on every socio-economic aspect of South African life. With those few words, I welcome you, Mr. President, and all the dignitaries who are attending this important commemoration of Youth Day in our province. Thank you very much, Program Directors.
Thank you very much, Acting Premier, for those wonderful words of welcome. Indeed, today is the day where we remember. Today is the day where we pay homage. We remember the sacrifices that were made for us to be gathered here today to celebrate the freedom. Of course, kwakungekho mnandi ngelaa xesha, they faced tear gas, babebulawa. Kodwa ke namhlanje sinabo abantu who have benefited because of those sacrifices that were made. Enkosi kakhulu ngamazwi akho okusamkela. Siyaqhubekeka ke because we are inspired by those who walk before us. Sinabo ke namhlanje esibabiza ngokuba zi-trailblazers in the sectors they are in. In our midst, we also have Miss Nozuko Choba, who is an NYDA beneficiary. Masicele ke ba Miss Choba eze ngaphambili azokwenza amazwi ambalwa. Yabona ke ndingumuntu ostrict kakhulu ke ngexesha andithandwa ncam kwezinye ii-corners. Njengoba ndithetha ke ngicela usisi Nozuko eze ngaphambili. Andithandwa ncam ngezuks kwezinye ii-corner. Put your hands together for Nozuko. Ukuba Nozuko uyayigqitha le 8 minutes ndikunika yona uzobona ngam ndiphakama and you don't like that. Okugqibela ke bethuna masimnikeni izandla Nozuko ezezawusichazela ukuba i-NYDA yenza ntoni.
Thank you, program directors. On top of the pressure that I already have, she just gave me more pressure. I'd like to take this opportunity to extend my greetings to the Honorable, His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa, and observe all protocol. My name is Nozuko Choba. I am the founding director of Zizukini. Zizukini is a manufacturing company which focuses on the production of cleaning chemicals. Our customers come to us for quality products and services, and we make cleaning easy and effortless so that people can enjoy their time playing with their kids and also enjoy a clean working environment. NYDA came into my life right at rock bottom. I began my company in 2018, and I was working out of my mother's garage, and I was selling and I was buying and selling these cleaning products. And then I was seeking for more ways to expand and increase my profit margins. So when I went to NYDA, when the branch opened in OR Tambo, I was then linked to Kerman, where I attended a training for chemical manufacturing. That was a breakthrough for me. It didn't just end there. NYDA then funded me, and when the president announced the lockdown, just a week before I received my funding, I was ready and I said, I'm going to take this because I am an essential services. So I took the opportunity. We were right on the stands selling hand sanitizer, antibacterial hand soap, making sure that the essential services are being brought forward to the workers. If I can just paint a more vivid picture for you of my journey. There were times where I would literally be crying and not even have 10 rands to take a taxi. I would be walking in the rain, crying, trying to catch a hike to go to East London for a training, and it would be raining and I'm soaking and cars are just passing me. And inside me, I had a big smile and I said, one day I'm going to be something and I'm going to make sure I persevere. The journey cannot be walked alone, and I appreciate the support. I am an embodiment of the work that the government is doing and is advocating. When I say that, I mean it takes a village to raise a child, because I have been assisted by not only the NYDA, but CEDA, Kemen, ECDC, DTIC with partnership with Productivity SA. And I cannot forget my loving mother who has always supported me from the word go. And also to my amazing staff that is so committed and dedicated. I cannot do this work without them. They are the A-team, I call them. And also to the young people, I'd also like to encourage you and tell you that it doesn't matter how many rejections you get, how many doors you knock and you get rejected. It takes just one yes for things to turn around. Your dreams today, I wish that they may be ignited and that you may stand again with a fresh hope that things are going to get better. To our leaders, I am fully confident that by working together with us, we can achieve more. And we are embracing the new opportunities that you're bringing forth to us. And we have the hope that we can work together and be able to better things, to be more efficient in terms of service delivery and bringing services to the youth, as we are facing, of course, social economic issues that make it difficult for us to succeed. But with that said, I'd like to take this opportunity and tell you again, my name is Nozuko Choba, and I am passionate about what I do. Thank you.
Ninomona lento ningaqhwabiyo. Hayi ngicela nimqhwabeleni izandla uNozuko. Thank you very much, Nozuko, for sharing your journey with us. It is truly inspirational. I'm sure nawe kule ndawo uhleli kuyo uyacinga ba ngenye imini nami ndawuze ndithi to my staff, nimvile mos Nozuko, akanayo le yami English ye-youth endala, to my staff who I call the A-team. Uyayiva? So bantu abatsha, these are young people from your villages that are coming here to inspire you. Get inspired and do something. Up next, because asixilanga kubantu abanamabhizinisi kuphela, sine opportunities singurhulumente If you want to go into business, you can go into business, you'll get the support. But if ufuna uphangela, you can get support as well. So from the Youth Employment Service, we have got Miss Nasipi Mganga. Ndicela uNasipi eze ngaphambili. Put your hands together as Nasipi is going to be sharing a beautiful journey with us today.
Thank you so much, Sis Fezeka. First of all, it's Nasipi Mgangana. Okay, greetings to he, President Cyril Ramaphosa. Sorry, sir. Sorry. Hello? Okay. Sorry. Greetings to he, President Cyril Ramaphosa, and all protocols observed. Standing before you is Nasipim Gangana. Okay, sorry. Is that okay? Okay. Standing before you is Nasipim Gangana, a 23-year-old from a small village all the way from Herschel. Nasipim Gangana is a graduate from the University of Fort Hare in the Communications Department. Currently, I'm pursuing my honors degree. I am a young, proud beneficiary of the Youth Employment Services and an intern at the Youth Health Africa, placed at the KF Resource Center, which is based in my village. KF is an organization that aims to fight poverty in the community. It does so by giving back to the community, starting from distributing food parcels to distributing sanitary pads. The fresh veggies for the food parcels are vegetables from our gardens, which my fellow interns plant. Sorry about that. I applied for the internship last year, December. At the time, I was stressed about being an unemployed graduate. I was willing to take anything that would come before me, even if it meant working in the garden. Since I've joined the program, I've developed more skills. I've learned more about the work environment. I've learned more about working with people. The stipend has been to good use, I could say. The stipend helped me to clear my debt in order to get my degree certificate. It prepared for my graduations, helped me enroll for my honors, and also helped me out with some black tax, which is giving back to the rents and helping out at home. Currently, I'm saving up for my learners and my driver's license. The intern position made things possible for me and I would like to thank my sponsor, the YES, which is Youth Employment Services and Youth Health Africa, for the opportunity. Lastly, on this Youth Day, my message to young people like me would be like a pumpkin seed, grow wherever you are thrown. And we live in a world where being choosy is not an option, so we use what we have to get what we want. Pagamani Lucha. I thank you all.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Nasipi. I'm not sure Nasipi, but please put your hands together for Nasipi once more. Thank you very much. Moving along, Sinaye. All right here. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, he is here. He is Sibusiso Ngwenya, the young entrepreneur. Kuthiwa ke abantu abangosomabhizinisi abathathi ixesha. Cela kusanitize. They strike the road while it is still hot. Khange besambiza nombiza weza.
Molweni Mthatha. Ninjani? Molweni kumongameli wethu. Molweni a beautiful Olweni, to our ministers rather. Please bear with me. I will get there. Igama lami uSibusiso Ngwenya. I'm a Forbes 30 under 30 recipient, Melon Guardian 200 applicant, and founder of a 10-year-old sock business called Skinny Spoo Socks. In April this year, we partnered with the iconic Grammy Awards in Las Vegas, USA, as the official sock partner for the Grammys 2022. I'm a young person that grew up in a 3-room shack. I'm a young person that grew up in a raised by a single mother and 8 grandmother. I'm a young person that believes that we have limitless opportunities in Mzansi. The opportunities may require hard work. The opportunities may require resilience and patience, which I have displayed over the past decade of building the biggest sock brand in the globe. Even the president owns my socks. I am a young person, okholelwa entweni yokuthi mele sivuke sigeze sibangene with whatever limited resources we have, just like the youth of 1976 who only and dustbin leads to fight the brutal and evil man. 3 days before the June 16, 1976 Soweto uprising, the young people of the time took it upon themselves to change the trajectory of their own future without the involvement of their parents. It is with the same spirit that I stand here today, 46 years later, ndithi kulutsha Mthatha, akekho umuntu ozosipha amathuba omsebenzi. Sithi abhoza. Sisithi abelungu. We are the ones who are going to come up with solutions for our solutions. Our only expectations from our parents or from our leadership is access to funding and an environment that allows local business to thrive. Now, as I come to a close, Mr. President and our honorable ministers, I want to draw your attention to this. America has Ford and Jeep. Europe has BMW and Mercedes. Japan has Toyota and Mazda. China has Aval and Fortin. Korea has Hyundai and Kia. Even India has Mahindra and Tata. In the first quarter of this year, 50,607 cars were sold in South Africa. That is 4.6% of which is 2,327 cars were bought by the state. South Africans buy on average 350,000 cars each year. We export around 270,000 cars to 150 destinations across the globe. The value of our automotive industry is around 138 billion and contributes 4.3% to the country's GDP. Yet, we do not have our own car brand as a country and as a continent. Yes, we assemble and distribute foreign brands locally, but we do not own our own car. But I'm not going to worry you, Mr. President. I am a young man who has solutions that are relevant to young people of 2022, and solutions that are going to create job opportunities. Ladies at the corner, you can pull through. Manene na manene gazi, I am proud to present to you the first ever South African car brand. It is called Skinny Spoo Supercars. It is the only car brand by South Africans for South Africans and the world. Paramisa, Paramisa. It is the only car brand for South Africans by South Africans. We intend to have our first 1,000 cars on the South African roads by 2024. Skinny Smooth Supercars will create jobs for 650 young people, women, and people living with disability. We therefore request you, Mr. President, our honorable ministers and different government departments to partner with us in making history as we create the first ever South African car brand. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Smooth. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together again for Smooth. Smooth may be skinny, right? Yes, Smooth. Yes, Mthatha. Smooth may be skinny, but his ideas are damn big. Go sit down, boy. You are great. Put your hands together again for Smooth. We are moving along. When ubucinga into yobana izinto are not possible, even the word itself says, I am possible. Siyadlula ke ngoku sibalekile sine-labels mos, labels. Besiqale sacela i-beneficiary ye-NYDA. Ngoku we are about to call the leadership of the NYDA, Miss Asanda Luwaca, who is going to share with us ukubangabana NYDA, what are the opportunities they're giving. Ay, yabona ngoku, ay amantombazane abhokile.
Uzoyithola kanjani? Uhlele khoneni? Phambili ngabantu abatsha phambili. Phambili ngabantu abatsha phambili. Mphathi Nkqubo, Mongameli waseMzantsi Afrika, His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa, all ministers and deputy ministers present, acting Premier in the Eastern Cape Province, MECs present, members of Parliament, Executive Deputy Chairperson of the NYDA Board, my fellow board members, abafundisi abakhoyo, leaders of various youth formations, distinguished guests, media, friends and compatriots, but most importantly, fellow young people of South Africa. Please receive my revolutionary greetings on behalf of the NYDA on this profoundly important day, the 46th anniversary of June 16. Now, one of the most striking features of the African polity in pre-liberation struggle was the ability of young people to radically reshape the methods of struggle against oppressive regimes. A commonality with the liberation movement is the important as well as the historic role that young people played, both in the process of political and economic transformation under the liberation movement, as well as the processes that followed after political power was seized. Now, today is profoundly important because it is a moment to reflect, a moment to honor, as well as a moment to celebrate the struggles waged by generations of young lions throughout the liberation struggle
to defeat the colonial and apartheid rule in our country, ushering in our democratic dispensation. We, the youth of 2022, are waging a relentless battle to defeat youth unemployment, poverty, and inequality. Youth landlessness, youth lack of quality education and skills, youth unsafety, especially from gender-based violence and femicide, and all other crimes. The current challenges of the day require our generation to rise to the occasion and make it our generational mission to achieve socio-economic freedom in our lifetime. Thus, we give concrete expression to our theme, promoting sustainable livelihoods and resilience of young people for a better tomorrow. His Excellency, the statistics released by Stats SA present a picture of hope on the path to defeat unemployment. However, the very same statistics are clearly defined that our South African youth population, which is predominantly youth, is still by and large unemployed, by and large unable to participate meaningfully in the mainstream economy, and by and large marginalized. Whilst the National Youth Development Agency has contributed towards closing the socio-economic gap amongst young people across all provinces, there remains more to be done. The agency alone cannot address the multiple of challenges that are confronting young people in this country. And therefore, we recognize the importance of private sector, of government, as well as civic society towards the empowerment and the development of youth. We ought to ensure that no young person gets left behind. Program Director, allow me to take this opportunity to salute those amongst youth who are playing an important and critical role in the different sectors of society, contributing to the progressive transformation of our country and society at large. Today, we are joined by a few of our Trailblazer campaign winners. Now, these young individuals have been doing extraordinary work against the backdrop of unemployment, poverty, inequality, crime and climate change, and most recently, the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. We are also joined by young women from across some of our provinces. We've got Naledi Ndamase, Batusile Mafumana, Olwethu Pudumo, Spokazi Keswa, Daphne Matebese, Precious Zulu, Onele Shipili, and Anuvuyani Pepeza. These young women have been doing phenomenal work in their respective sectors. It therefore follows that the empowerment of women constitutes the empowerment of our entire community. It is therefore incumbent and quite crucial that government creates an inclusive, a conducive, as well as an enabling environment for young people to participate meaningfully in the mainstream economy. The NYDA believes that this can be achieved through youth mainstreaming, which can be best understood as a strategic tool for young people for the development across all stratas of society. Now, Program Director, this requires that all government departments, entities, businesses, civic societies to work with the NYDA hand in hand in closing the gaps of inequality, poverty, and unemployment. Fellow young people of South Africa, we must dare not allow the rivers of blood shed on the streets of this country 46 years ago to have been in vain. We have to be the generation which unites on a common purpose of defeating the above-mentioned challenges of the day and place society on the uninterrupted path of accelerating the building of a better life for all, thus realizing the freedom Solomon Mahlangu declared his blood would nourish. We are the great-grandchildren of Sarah Baartman, the grandchildren of Nelson Mandela, the children of Lillian Ngoyi, and the young lions of Peter Mokaba. And the young lions of Peter Mokaba, whose roar inspires our daily activities as the National Youth Development Agency, in coordination and leading youth development across the country. His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa, we assure you that in the NYDA, the youth of South Africa have a reliable and dependable ally and leader to champion as well as advocate for our generational interests. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Asanda, particularly for the confirmation that NYDA is a dependable ally. Yeah, it's about because when by every speaker from the podium, they go stand in front of the president, eyeball to eyeball. That's an once in a lifetime opportunity. But then the trailblazer ngokunam Minister Mashaban benizawuke ndiyoma papa president, eyeball to eyeball. Thank you very much for those words, Asanda. Hayi ke bethuna ifikelele esiphelweni ngokweyami indima. Ngokube kusemandi le tender bendiyifumene ifikelela esiphelweni. But before ndiyohlala phansi, it is an absolute honor for me to call upon stage another trailblazer, Imbokodo Ngokwayo, a minister in the office of the president, or responsible for abantu abatsha, abantu abangomama kwabanye nabantu abane-disability. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Minister Maite Nkwane Mashaba.
Malibongwe, Malibongwe. All of us, Your Excellency, Mr. President, in this room, you can hear me. You can now. We are born of mothers. We are the products of mothers, but also fathers, because mother can't create a child without the father. So this partnership must continue. Mr. President, respecting protocol and the time, may I take this opportunity to thank Mthatha and Mayor Nkomye, but also all the dignitaries in the room, in particular your good self, Mr. President, for giving us in particular the opportunity with Minister Nzimande, I can't see him in the room. Where is he? To say this June 16, you want to see it different. It must focus on 4IR, so that these young people, in particular led by Asanda Luanda, the chairperson of the NYDA, must showcase what they are doing. We've been hearing the stories. I felt so proud, Minister Stella Ndabeni, to hear that the revolution of St. John, you were part of it. We moved from there, we came here, we never had a single word of a complaint of saying this government is not doing anything for us. We hear praises of men and women, heroes and heroines, Minister Mthatha, who brought us freedom only 28 years ago. 46 years ago, blood was shed. 28 years ago, Mandela walked us into this freedom that we have. Now we want our children to become their own economic liberators, supported by us. led by you, Mr. President. It is an honor to say to men and women of South Africa, as the Constitution calls on us, that women, youth, and persons with disabilities and all South Africans are now ready to do the battle we saw at St. John this morning. We are seeing in this room, no one is asking for favors. We say this is the government of the people, by the people, and we even have young people who say they will not just create perfumes, they will also make sure that we drive cars that they created in our lifetime. What else can we ask for? Program directors, it is really a great honor, while I apologize on your behalf, that we listen to His Excellency President Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa as to, from here, as we chaperone these young people with you, where do we go? I thank you.
Ham. Ashlalen phansi. Molweni. Dumelang. Sanbonan. Abshin. Demasiari. Goeiemiddag. Program directors, Minister of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities, Acting Premier of our province, Police Mvoko, Executive Chairperson of the NYDA, Ms. Asanda Luwaqa, the CEO of Harambee Youth Employment Accelerator, Ms. Soni, the CEO of the Youth Employment Service, Mr. Naidu, leaders of all youth formations that are here, our traditional leaders, our executive mayors and councillors, our MECs, yes, our other ministers who are here as well, and MECs, and young people of South Africa. Before we start, allow me to also pass my condolences to the young people who died yesterday in a car accident, for whom we observed a moment of silence. But I also want to pass my condolences, as I did already in writing, to the family of His Majesty, King Sikau, and ask you all that we should once again stand up and observe a moment of silence for the passing of King Sikau. Thank you. Promoting sustainable livelihoods and resilience of young people for a better tomorrow is the theme of our June 16, but more importantly, of our Youth Month. We are here today to honor the youth of 1976, but we are also here to honor the youth of our country of all the decades. Youth whose bravery, determination, and vision were so vital to the achievement of our democracy. From their struggles, we have learned that there is nothing at all that young people cannot achieve when they are united and committed to a particular cause and purpose. It is indeed due to the struggles of young people over many years that access to primary education is today universal for every single young person in South Africa. Our schooling, feeding schemes have ensured that no child goes hungry in any of our schools. Today, our country produces 4 times the number of African graduates that we did in 1994. And that is an important indicator of the progress that is being made. Today, Minister Blade Nzimande will tell you that in the former white universities, the majority of young people who are in those universities, the universities that they were prevented and virtually stopped from attending, the majority of them are black students, which means access to university education has improved. Now, these graduates have gone on to become doctors, to become technologists, engineers, innovators, and entrepreneurs, as we were seeing today with a young person, Gwenya, who is now going to manufacture a South African-made car. Our social security system offers a level of basic social protection to every marginalized and vulnerable citizen, especially children. These achievements should not overshadow the deep-seated challenges faced by young people all over the country. Now more than ever, we need young people to rally together to confront and overcome the massive challenges that our country is facing today. The apartheid legacy of poverty, unemployment, and inequality lies at the center of a number of these challenges. And this has recently been compounded by the effects of COVID-19 and the July unrest that we experienced last year, as well as the devastating floods that we just experienced a few weeks ago in KZN, Northwest, and here in the Eastern Cape. The fact that millions of young people are not in employment, that many of them are not in education and in training, is the greatest challenge facing our country today. As we rebuild from the pandemic, we therefore remain focused on growing our economy and creating jobs. We remain focused on far-reaching economic reforms and creating conditions for the expansion of businesses throughout the land. We are intensifying our investment drive and removing the red tape that has always held business back from contributing to the growth of our economy to achieve greater employment creation. Alongside these measures, we are harnessing capacity of the state to respond to the immediate needs of young people. It is for this reason that we announced the Presidential Youth Employment Intervention, which is a comprehensive response to the youth unemployment challenge. We have also launched the Presidential Employment Stimulus, which supports public and social employment and which has to date created close on to 880,000 jobs since it was established. A flagship initiative of the employment stimulus is the School Assistance Program, which has placed close on to 300,000 young people in schools across the country, doing extremely valuable work. And this work that they are doing has been recognized and appreciated not only by the teachers, but also by parents, by school governing bodies, and also by local governments in the spaces where these schools are located. These young people are accessing meaningful employment while supporting teachers and contributing to positive learning outcomes in our schools. The latest program to be launched through the employment stimulus is the Social Employment Fund. It has begun to recruit thousands of young people, 50,000 participants in community safety, food and nutrition, digital inclusion, sports, arts, and recreation. We have just launched a new dashboard for the Presidential Youth Employment Intervention on the State of the Nation website. Members of the public are now able to track detailed progress with regard to the implementation and receive up-to-date information about the intervention. Our National Pathway Management Network, which links young people to opportunities for learning, for earning, and support, has now signed up 2.9 million young people on the program. Now, young people can join the network through an online platform, SA Youth Mobi, which is data-free and works on all mobile networks. Since SA Youth was launched, it has placed more than 600,000 young people in earning opportunities and provided support for many more, including interview preparation, job search, and entrepreneurship training. This is what the practical implementation of this program is all about. As part of government's commitment to remove the barriers that young people confront when trying to enter the public service, we are reducing the cost and effort of applying for positions. For example, applicants for public service positions are no longer required to submit certificated or certified copies of their educational qualifications and other relevant documents. In the past, you had to compile a pile of all these documents, and that has now been done away with. This simple change will significantly reduce the cost of applying. It will improve the turnaround times and also reduce the administrative burden on government departments. At the beginning of next month, government will be launching the Future of Work Ambassadors program. This program will focus on improving as well as modernizing the recruitment and retention of youth in the public service. We want our young people to be in the public service. By bringing them in, we want them to modernize, to be part of the modernization of the public service, to contribute to the innovative applications that we want to bring into the public service, and also to increase the capacity of the state. We are pursuing innovative new ways of linking learning with earning. For example, the National Skills Fund is pioneering the pay-for-performance skills development model that will create 8,000 job opportunities for young people in digital skills. This morning, before coming here, we went to St. John's College, where we spent valuable time with young people in grade 11, grade 12, who are already well steeped in digital skills. And we were able to see why St. John's College here has become the hub of up to 19 schools. And we are going to increase its capacity to have all the instruments, the technological capability to help all the 19 schools around here in Mthatha. That is what we are going to do. And today we are also proud to announce the official launch of the revitalized National Youth Service. The youth service that we are relaunching will contribute to civic responsibility, a common identity. It will also contribute to development and nation building. This is a passionate generation that sees the need in our country and wants to serve those around them. We've been meeting young people who are focused on serving the nation, who just want to be given pathways, who want to be given the opportunity to be able to serve the people of South Africa. Through this National Youth Service, we are providing precisely that platform that will enable young people who want to serve the nation to do so. There is a great deal of work for them. Work that they can do in our public schools, in tackling social problems such as alcohol and substance abuse. There is a great deal of work that they can do to support victims of gender-based violence. There's great work that they will be able to do in building social solidarity in our communities. This is the task that we believe the young people of our nation will be able to take forward. We look forward to the National Youth Service to inculcate in young people the habits of work, the value of community service, and a great sense of duty to our country and to our democracy. Young people who want to participate in the National Youth Service should join sayouth.mobi and create their profile by just going online and seeing what is available there. The Youth Employment Service, known as YES, and we received testimony about it here earlier, is another important initiative that has reached key milestones over the last year. Through its partnership with the private sector, the YES program has created nearly 82,000 quality work opportunities for young South Africans. This is real progress. And as I talk to young people, and as I talk to various companies, they say they are finding that there are real quality young people who they can bring into their companies once they have gone through the YES program. This program has injected over 4.6 billion into the economy through the salaries that they've been paid to these young people who join and become part of it. Corporate partners use the Youth Employment Service to build their own workforces by creating work experiences for youth in industries of the future. And these industries of the future include industries such as digital, drone, green economy, urban farming, mining, global business services, creative industries, and many more. The young people of South Africa are imbued with great entrepreneurial spirit as well as energy. Our task is to support them. Our task is to unleash this energy that resides in the hearts and the minds of the young people of our country. We saw great testimony about it earlier here on this stage. The Department of Trade and Industry and Competition, for example, is establishing a fund that will support an enabling ecosystem for young people to engage in forms of enterprise and self-employment. We will continue to provide young entrepreneurs with a capital. So be uyifumane nale capital engithetha ngayo. Ngoba uzobe uhlezi ekhoneni ungayiva nale ndaba yale capital ezoba khona. We are going to be providing capital, but more importantly, we'll also provide networks to help young people have their own startup businesses, to ignite this growth, to ignite this potential for great businesses going forward. In the past financial year, 7,500 young people have received financial enterprise support, and over 30,000 young people have received other enterprise support from the National Youth Development Agency. Asanda, who leads that, if she had been given more time, she would have spoken about it. Through the NYDA, as well as through the Department of Small Business Development, as led by a minister who originates from this very province, Ustela Ndabeni Abrahams. At this moment, in the life of our nation, we need visionary young people who are united and focused on improving our communities, but young people who are focused on also making a contribution to the growth and building of our economy. We need young people who have discovered their generational mission and who are determined never to betray that mission that they have. We need patriotic young people who will actively serve their country and also defend the gains of our hard-won democracy. Yes, we need young people who will stand up to and put an end to gender-based violence and femicide. We need young people who will spend more of their time asking what they will do for their country rather than asking what their country is going to do for them. Because quite often, sometimes we meet young people who sit in the corner and wonder what the country is going to do for them. The time has now come for young people to look at all these opportunities, all the efforts, that have been made, that are being made by government. And they should ask themselves, how can we interact with all these opportunities that are being opened? Our young people need to take the lead in building a more humane society, a society that treats people with disabilities with dignity. We are deeply concerned about the number of young people falling into depression and at times taking their own lives when certain aspects of their lives do not go well. Now more than ever, we need young people to show ubuntu and kindness towards their peers and fellow South Africans. Bullying at school or anywhere else in our society must stop. It must be a thing of the past as we treat with each other with an element of ubuntu. The harassment of young people belonging to the LGBTQI+ community has no place in our country. No place whatsoever. Young people must shun crime and fight also against corruption. I also want to address a special generation of young people popularly known as AMA 2000. Now, this generation is the future of our country. These are the young people who take responsibility for their well-being and the well-being of those around them. These are young people who understand the damage caused by alcohol and drug abuse, who refuse to be drawn into crime and violence, and who avoid irresponsible and reckless sexual behavior. Young people must be inspired by the 1976 generation to look beyond their immediate circumstances and pursue their hopes and their dreams. The 1976 generation inspired the whole country to take more urgent steps to ensure that freedom does arrive. This generation must create livelihoods by pursuing their business ideals. They must pursue their dreams. They must focus on their studies and always look for opportunities for development. As a society, we must appreciate the contribution of young people. We must invest in their development, and we must support their efforts to define a new future for our country. Young people have always made an indelible contribution to the development of our country. Throughout the ages, organizations such as the African National Congress, in their formation, were inspired by young people who were educated, who went to various parts of the world to be educated. In the 40s, it was young people who gave a real spurt to our freedom fight and made sure that organizations such as the ANC Youth League were formed, and which formed and gave an impetus to the fight against apartheid. And throughout the years, it's been young people who have led various stages of our national development. And today's young people now have a lot of opportunities that government is opening, opportunities that we want them to take up. And it is these young people who are the real future of our country. And today we saw these young people, Asanda Luwaqa, who speaks with such confidence about the work that they are doing in the NYDA. Unozuko Choba, who is an NYDA beneficiary. Now, when we formed the NYDA, some people dismissed it and thought that it would not really have an impact. And today she stands here and she says, I am a beneficiary of the work that has been initiated by government, and I have started my own business, and it's a manufacturing business led by a black young woman. Now, that is phenomenal. Nasiphi Mnganga stands here and says, today I have a job opportunity. I'm part of the YES project. When we launched the YES program some 4 or 5 years ago, we knew in the end that it would start really showing great benefits. That is precisely what it is doing now. And she stands here confident and saying, I am a product of this program. Now, uSibusiso Ngwenya, an industrialist of the future, who is going to give South Africa its first own car. And he complains that we are very good at manufacturing other people's cars. And as a young person, he says, no, that is not enough. We need to have our own South African car. The patriotism in him is coming to the fore. Now, I want to applaud these young people. I want them to come here to the front. Iza, Asanda, Iza, Nozuko, Nasiphi, and Sibusiso. Come forward. Where's the tall man? Now, these young people, you see, they are still so playful. These young people are the true representation of what our country is able to do for young people. They are just a mere sample. You can talk about the nearly 900,000 young people who've been given opportunities, who are now in our schools, the many others who are in the digital space, having been opened up by Minister Blade Nzimande, who are now in arts and culture space by Minister Mthatha, who are now in small business, Minister Dabeni Abrahams. Ngwana Mashabane is bringing the young people into various spaces. Minister Nglesi is bringing them into the government space. Home Affairs is hiring many of these young people. And we are opening space and opportunities in various corporates as well. Where the corporates are not able to plug in, we come in as government. Now, I put them here because I want to applaud them. These are young people and many thousands of others who are not sitting in a corner and complaining, who are saying, we are moving forward. These are young people who are positive about the future, and many more who are out there. So I applaud you, young people, for your positive spirit. And on today's Youth Day, we present these young people to the nation and many others who are busy in our schools and many other places, as we call upon the private sector to open up more opportunities, because these young people are bright, they are well educated, they are well skilled, they are positive, they look forward to a better South Africa, and that is why the theme of our Youth Month is so important for all that we are doing. We want to create sustainable futures for these young people and make sure that their livelihoods are sustainable, because we see in them resilience, we see in them commitment, we see in these young people the courage that we want to see amongst all young people in South Africa. This government is committed to improving the lives of the youth of our country. And we will continue doing everything we can. With the advice from the NYDA, which works with us on an ongoing basis, we will do more and much more to improve the lives of young people. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's applaud the young people for all that they stand for. Thank you. Ngiyabulela.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Siyabulela kakhulu kumongameli ngentetho yakhe yosuku. Nje behlala phansi nje undikhumbuza the other time esibizile ngela xesha kwakusanda ukuthanda bakhona family meetings. So xa egqiba uthetha ke he tried to put on his mask wayifaka ngohlobo. So I have a 6-year-old Pindlin, igama lakhe nguMbali, and uMbali was like, "Oh, silly Mr. President, he can't even put on his mask the right way." So undikhumbuza loo nto ke ngoku xa ephinde efaka imask yakhe. Thank you so much, Mr. President, for the wise words and the encouragement to young people. Ukwenzela into yobana babone ukuba there's future and there's hope out there. Siyabulela kakhulu. Bendithe ke before athethe uMr. President ndathi mna ithenda yami iphelile. Uyabona ke when you do something ngcono noko uyenze ngcono iboss yakho ithi ambiyogqibezela. So ndiyabulela ke co-program director, honorable minister, ngokuba unike lithuba to call upon the executive mayor of OR Tambo District Municipality, Honorable Councillor Ngqondwana, to come and give us a vote of thanks.
Thanks so much. Ndiyabulisa kwi-program directors zethu, Your Excellency President, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Ndiyanibulisa nonke ngalemva kwemini. Thanks so much for affording us this opportunity yokuba senze this vote of thanks. Firstly, thanks to the national government for deeming it appropriate ukuba le celebration yalo nyaka yenzelwe apha Mthatha in the OR Tambo district in the province of the Eastern Cape. We do not take it lightly because it is one of those ways of showing us, the people of the province and the region, that we are also in the radar of the national government, and that the national government in its plans is aware that there are people in this part of the world that look upon leadership and support from national government. So that gesture on its own is sufficient for us to extend a word of gratitude. We are very much grateful for that. We would wish to mention, President, that we are also excited that from your speech it has appeared that you are mindful of the issues that affect us, especially our youth. And I want to say that the youth in the OR Tambo district in particular is also not immune from the challenges generally confronting the youth in the country. Amongst many of those challenges being unemployment and a limited resource base to opportunities. It therefore gives us joy to learn that the national government is aware of these challenges, as you have clearly outlined in your speech to the youth of the country today. I must do mention that probably unique to us as the district, we have a serious challenge of gender-based violence that I think we must mention as you are here, because it is something that bothers us in the district. And generally, all sorts of crime directed at women and children, I think all statistics have pointed that the district, particularly the Lusikisiki area, is a hub of such crimes. I must do mention that we're also worried about the direction that Mthatha as a town is taking in terms of being infested with criminals around our towns. It's important to mention this because the economic activities cannot move freely without this being addressed. We're aware that this is one of the indicators that the investors and any other people who would want to make initiatives to make lives better will look at as a process of deciding whether or not to come to this site. We need a solid and strong message from government that there is effort to intervene into these challenges. Thank you so much to all of us colleagues for making it to this important day. And thank you so much to the youth of OR Tambo. Siyabulela lucha lwase OR Tambo ngokusiphatha kakuhle ningasiphoqi. Umongameli nabaphathiswa bazamka benwabile ngesimilo sethu beyazi ukuba banolutsha apha olujonge kubo ukuze sifumane amathuba okusebenza. Enkosi kakhulu.
Enkosi kakhulu, our executive mayor of OR Tambo District Municipality, uMayor uNgqondwana. Asimshayele izandla futhi. Sibonga ukuthi usibongile. Enkosi kakhulu. Siyabonga ukuthi usibongile mayor, wabonga umongameli welizwe. Sigqibile ke ngoku, we've come to the end of our program today, the official program. Thanks everyone, Madiba. We are now having a cultural program. The president is having an engagement now. So, awusezujaiva ke nathi apha mongameli. Uthe uminister uNzimande uzojaiva thathe indawo yakho. Uthe usizwa uminister uStella Ndabeni Abrams. But thank you very much, Eastern Cape. Thank you.